Alright, let's try this again, baby. There we go. Sorry about that. I was having a weird bit of audio problems there. Alright. So, we last left off. Lady Mothman was strapped a little different. And check out her stats real quick. I bumped her endurance up to 30 as well, and her skill up to 20. Put a little bit more into vitality. And finally equipped her with the weapon she is going to have for probably the remainder of the playthrough. This thing is fantastic. It is, at its current state, much better than the axe. Not higher in set anyway, 106 somewhere. But its base stat of 160 is slightly better than the 152 both. And the scaling is what's important here. So the scaling is at B on strength and C on skill, and then B in arcane. But the hunter's axe is only C and E, so it's much worse scaling at this point. So this is just a hands down better weapon for this moment. Also, instead of having the spin to win where it knocks enemies on their back, you get this giant stab pancake enemies, which does make them take longer to get up. So, the goal for today is we're going to go through the forest on our way to Bergenworth, but I figured I may as well go ahead and show off the area that I've been going to grind out levels and blood echoes to buy things. So we're going back to Yharnam, and I'm going to show you the run that I normally do, and I'm going to take this opportunity to actually get all the items, because I haven't picked up any of the items yet, because I wanted to wait till I was streaming to do that. So we're at 1,500 right, 15,000 right now. So killing these guys nets you about 1,500 a piece. And they have the chance of dropping the twin shards, which is what you really want. Like that. So, right now, I actually am rocking with 88 of the regular bloodstone shards and 66 in storage, and then 13 of those. So I have enough to upgrade any item all the way up to level 5. These don't drop these don't bring very much. They're only 400, and they give you pebbles, which I'm maxed out on pebbles. You can only keep 198, I believe. So you always want to kill these pigs because they're not hard, and they give you blood vials guaranteed. Of course, you do want to hit them. And they give you a pretty good amount of blood echoes, 3,500. And they usually drop at minimum 2 blood vials a pop. Alright, so first item I've been seeing this whole time I've been running that weren't able to pick up. Bolt paper. That's a thing you rub on your weapon to apply lightning damage to it. So you're going to run down here to try and trigger these dogs as fast as possible. As always, just swing first. Alright, got lucky there. So I wanted to go ahead and catch him before he started progressing down this promenade. And normally you would go down there and continue on the loop to come back into this building. But since we're actually going to we're going to clear out this area and make a little progress, no need for that. We'll just continue on. And I actually get to upgrade Lady Mothman's look. Alright. So we get this giant-ass gate that will not be opened until way later in the game. But we do get some free Madman's knowledge. And you come up here for an item I'm sure many people miss out on because it's hard to see from the floor. So there's something interesting. So you look at the regular cold bloods you get. Very clearly like a drop of blood splashing down. And you get to the frenzied cold bloods. And they're bubbling up. Now, later on we're going to start getting some, like, what's called kin cold bloods. Those things start to get crazy looking. Alright, so, finally, we can upgrade. First and foremost, let's take a read. Iron helmet worn by hunters of unseen village. The hunters of Yahar Ghul answer to the village's founders, the school of Mensis. Hunters in name only, these kidnappers wear their black hoods low to shadow their eyes. This helm is made of metal, a rarity for hunter garb, and has a high defense, but only against physical attacks. So we're just going to go ahead and put everything on real quick. And then we'll figure it out from there. So yeah, the Yahar Ghul hunters, very, very different from our regular Yharnamites. Let's see. Thick black pullover worn by hunters of the unseen village. Designed primarily to defend against physical attacks, the binding of thick rope serves both to protect its wearer and restrain his foes. And they all pretty much say the same thing. So, see what we look like when we do this. I think we might just run as a Yahar Ghul hunter for a while. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, for some reason I lost audio. We had a little weird bit of audio clipping on the transformation. Beware of ambush and don't be fooled. No ambush yet. That's referencing when you come back way later. But we did get an item ahead, so that was true. Speaking of areas that are useful way later in the game, get a lever here, but it doesn't do anything. And that's fine. Okay. Oh, woman. Later on, or I believe if you summon somebody, in this game, the counterbalance for summoning, as well as, alongside the fact that your stats get lowered drastically, there also will appear a sinister bell-ringing woman. And she will appear at a certain point, a certain part of the level that you won't know. Once you learn where they're at, they're always at that location. And if you want to prevent her from doing what she does, you can hunt her out and kill her. But what she does is she rings a sinister bell. I don't have the sinister bell yet, I don't believe. Yeah, no. I don't have the sinister bell. The sinister bell is invaders. She summons an invader to your game. Oh, dogs. Fucking dogs in this game suck. The key to them is basically trigger them, make them run towards you, and then just slowly back up. But if you get surrounded, yeah, you're kind of screwed. And there we go. That's how you deal with dogs. Now, speaking of how to deal with dogs, we're going to use the best item in the entire game. Oh, fuck off. It is landing between his fucking legs. Okay. Best item in the game, we're going to read an item description. Small pebbles thrown throughout Yharnam. Can be thrown to foes. Quite thrilling. It's a pebble. In the shape of an eye. These things cost 10 blood echoes a piece, so I really don't care about wasting them. Also, I'm full up. I can go pick up some that I left on the ground back in the chapel right now. I did all that so that I didn't have to fight dogs and this guy at the same time. Hell, 2 dogs alone are already a problem. And we get the Tonitrus. This weapon is super useful in very few instances. A unique trick weapon contrived by Archibald, the infamous eccentric of the Healing Church workshop. Striking this peculiar iron morningstar flail like a match generates the same blue sparks that blanket a dark beast. Unfortunately, for reasons untold, the hunters of Archibald's time did not fully take to the device. They don't ever really expand on that. So, it's a mace. And by tricking it out, you literally just charge it. You create an electric field around it. It does shock damage, and shock damage is useful against kin. So if you'll see the special attack right there on the right, or in the middle, the 2 yellow markers are kin and beast. It says it does really good on both, but everything does 100 and 100. That's just its base stat. When you charge it, however, the electric or bolt, the bolt damage does drastically good against kin. Just like beasts are weak to serration and fire, kin are weak to bolt. I'm not exactly sure if they're all weak to blunt as well. I do know that the boss fight that I like to use it in, which is Rom the Vacuous Spider, I know he is specifically weak to bolt. I mean, weak to blunt. But that could just be because of his rocky exterior. Could be using, old DS rules. And just like that, I got back almost every pebble I threw. Alright, and that triggers this guy. But slightly not far enough. man, I'm actually getting kind of lucky with these twin bloodstone shards. I have enough to fully upgrade another item. The drop rate on these guys is ridiculous. They are literally just here so that you can't go straight for the kidnappers. Like, they'll wake up if you get too close to them. But the entire time that I was grinding out levels, one of them dropped an item. Just one. So I figure while I'm here, I may as well go ahead and... Ugh. I don't really care for this NPC. But we'll go ahead and we'll get her. More frenzied cold blood, I'll take it.
Oh, by your garb, the healing church, you've come to save me. Oh, thank you, dear saint.
Sorry about that.
To express my relief. You can take this at least.
And she gives you Madman's knowledge.
Sure to please an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much.
Neat.
Thank you so much. I was seized on the street by the hulking brute in the cathedral ward.
Same thing that happened to us.
Here, there were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since. So, the hunt is on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in? Yes, I understand. Perhaps he'll open. Yes, I do not wish to trouble you any further. I pray.
Okay. I'm gonna try something real quick. I don't know if we just made it to where it won't let me do it, but we'll find out. We're gonna come up here, and the circuit's complete. So we're gonna go back to the very first area in the game, which is the first floor sick room. The very first area in the game is Yosefka's clinic, but we can't go there anymore. We'll find out why in a moment. Hunter's Mark. It's garbage. Throw that shit away, but it won't let you. It won't let me sell it. Just crap. It's like trying to sell your dark sign. I mean, it's exactly the same as trying to sell your dark sign. Let's try to go back up to where we woke up originally.
Oh, well, hello. Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yosefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted? Well...
Okay. So, that's Yosefka. She's the other place you can send people. I believe we're going to send our dear friend Adela there. As well as one other NPC. Hell, while I was in Yharnam, I should have gone ahead and gone to our other NPC. But I want to make sure. There's Adela. None of the Healing Church. Healing Church nuns are chosen by their merit as vessel of blood and room for blood. But fuck. Room is blood saints, so the mere chance of being treated with their blood, and then it's a fuck. Sorry, I was trying to read it on my display over here. Yeah, come on. It's fine. Man, I'm having so much better luck on these Twin Stone shards now than I was when I was just grinding. Damn. I'm not overselling it. I'm legit. I've gotten more Twin Stone shards just from this run through than I did, I think, in my last 3 runs altogether. Okay, let's see if she's still here. Yep, her dumbass hadn't moved.
I'll be fine. I don't wish I'll ask an acquaintance. Unless...
I do know of another place.
Oh, thank you. I'll set out as soon as I pray for success. Kind time. I'll set out. I'm kind.
There we go. Ah. Yeah, okay. Alright. And since we're cleaning up loose ends before we head to the woods, we'll go and head back to Yharnam. First, I'm going to spin these blood echoes. One thing that's kind of a bummer is that if you get used to playing Dark Souls 2 and then this game came out, the fact that it doesn't allow you to travel from lantern to lantern kind of stinks. It makes sense, but it does kind of stink because you got so used to being able to travel anywhere in DS2. And then in DS3 they just reaffirmed that.
Well, what is it?
Let's see, do I have enough to get 2? Nope. I'm short 2,000. Well, we'll see what we can do about that.
Farewell, may...
Actually... that should do it.
Welcome. What? Very well. Let me...
Oh, yeah. Just enough. I'm up by, like, what, 29? I'll take it.
Farewell, good
Level
hunter.
65. Not bad. Alright, so we're going to do a quick run through Yharnam. Oh, we can visit our little pal right there at the window by this lantern and see if he's got anything new to say. Last time I went and visited him, he gave me the flame sprayer. I forget what his name is. Gilbert? I think his name is. Old Gilbert. What's Gilbert doing? Gilbert, I'll let your boy.
Have I heard of Bergenworth? Afraid I can't say that I have. The locals aren't apt to share any local history. I'm afraid I may not be of help for much longer.
Oh no. Alright. Well, Gilbert ain't doing too hot. I don't actually think I would have gotten enough blood echoes just running through here to get my level up. Alright, lady.
I've heard I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you once had got off your arse, you wouldn't be in this mess. You're obligated to help me, you hear? So what, Libby? Are you going to tell me you're not?
Normally, yes. But go hang out with my boy and Odin.
An outsider worth a lick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do?
I do.
Go split some...
Shush. I don't need to be here at all. Alright, back the way we came. And we're not going to fast travel just because I'm not exactly sure whether it would be faster to warp or not. Free blood vials ain't bad, so I'll take it. Lady Mothman. Alright, and as always, we're going to do this. Nothing else to bypass a horde, and also get some blood vials from this pig. It's not nearly as tough as the pig from up top. Alright, there's nothing else in here, so our little girl has not come up here. So that's good. She's still stuck in her home. I think unless I talk to her again, she'll be safe. So we're just going to leave her alone. Not going to bother talking to her. Blood vials, blood vials. More blood vials, more blood vials. I'll take them. You always need more. You can stock up to 600 in your backlog. Oh, also of note, top right we see that I actually filled out the rune slots. We get more echoes from slain enemies, more blood echoes from visceral attacks, and the max blood vials I can hold is up 1. So you'll see I can hold 21 instead of just 20. That's it. We don't have very good runes yet, but we do get better. Alright, heading back up to the cathedral ward. Got our pal here. She's still chilling. More blood vials. That's it. Not joking. I'll take as many as they want to throw out at me. Quicksilver bullets also good. Okay. No, come on. Show me the thing, show me the thing. I had vanished off of him. We had a world change. Didn't intend to throw that rock. Meant to do that. We had a slight world change. So, those guys with the lanterns, their lantern is now covered in eyes, which it was not before. And when they shake their lantern at me, they do magic, which they didn't before. So, something has changed in the world now that it's nighttime.
Alright. What crafty lies does the outsider have today? Do you think I'm an easy mark? Yeah? Well, give me your best shot.
Okay. So, if I remember correctly, this guy will go to the opposite of wherever you tell him to go.
Huh. Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even they're lucky.
Okay. If I'm right, then that's fine. It's good if he goes to the opposite. That means he'll go hang out with our boy in Odin Chapel. And if not, then he's a dick. I don't care. If he actually does go hang out with Yosef, I don't really care all that much. He's a dick. He doesn't offer anything to the story. God, these guys just melt to this sword. I'll take it. Alright, those guys are just going to continue being pissy down there, but they can't actually get to me, so it's fine. See, Alfred's still hanging out here, so that's cool. And now that we've about finished up everything I wanted to get done, we can go head out to the forest. Take a little trip. Well, alright, I had to kill him as fast as possible just because I am oiled up. You'll see that little icon next to the pebble. That's the symbol for being oiled. Anything I do that involves fire, like say if I were to walk over and touch that fire, I would just instantly die. Maybe, maybe not. I might have enough health to survive it. Or possibly the pants that I'm wearing right now might help with the fire resistance. But regardless, we're done with that. Whoop. So let's head back down to our lantern that we had. And I'm going to return to the Hunter's Dream, if nothing else, to set this lantern as the lantern that we will return to if we actually end up dying. Which is a possibility. I'm going to be running through a pretty large area, trying to get all the items. I don't really have enough to level up again. I could probably pop some burnable echoes, but it's not really worth it. So, I've been working on the rifle spear as a possible backup. I need to pump the tonitrus. But Getting these up to 6 will wait until I'm off camera. I get one of them up to 6 right now, but I'm going to rock what I have right now. So, let's see. Repair. Costs barely anything to ever repair anything. And since I'm not going to be trying to level up during this run, we'll go ahead and spend what we got. So, Bold Hunter's Marks have gone up in price, as have pretty much everything else. Pebbles are still only $10 a piece. And as you can see, I have 17 out of 20 and 99 in storage. So, there's no point in buying them. Hunter's Marks, they're always useful. Like, they are always useful. Bold Hunter's Marks allow you to reawaken at the lantern without losing your blood echoes. So if you've gone out and you're finished clearing out an area, like say if you were grinding for levels, you'd run through an area, clear everything out, reawaken at the lantern, go through again, reawaken, go through again, reawaken. That way you wouldn't have to port back and forth between the Hunter's Dream and wherever you're grinding at. Loading screens. Crows are not that dangerous, but the fact that they can hit you multiple times and you're not really able to defend once they start basically makes them like shittier versions of dogs. There we go. So, as a good little note for how do you progress in a story in a Souls game, like how do you progress with your levels? How do you decide like what levels your weapons should be? If they are giving you a type of upgrade material for free, that means you should have that level of... Jeez. Pardon me on that one. I'm just gonna heal that back up. Didn't expect them to double on it. That means you should have that level of weapon. So if they're giving you Bloodstone Shards, you should have a level 3 weapon. If they're giving you Twins, you should have a level 3. Especially if they're giving you the ability to just go up to an enemy and farm it. Need to be a little more careful during this area. Alright, and we see already there's a bit of an issue going in with this this area. You got a dude hucking oil at you. You got fire either on or near every enemy. Alright. Could have gone worse. Could have gone better. Oil urn. Hell yeah. I'm not even going to bother with that guy. He's slow. He's not cool. Twin Bloodstone Shards. Blood Vial. And you can bypass this whole area, but honestly, this is the next area where you should be grinding at. Like this whole forest. Just because the base enemies are giving you almost 1,000. Should really be using this weapon more. Everything in here is a beast, so it's going to be super weak to fire and serrated. Alright, apparently fucked that up bad, so whatever. Got it just a hair too late. Alright, beast blood pellets. I've picked up some before. Large medicinal pellets supposedly formed of coagulated beast blood, banned by the healing church due to their unclear origin, grants a spurt of beasthood, ripping apart the flesh of one's enemies and being rained upon by their splattering blood, invigorates one's sense of beasthood, feeding strength and euphoric feeling alike. I'm going to hook a left here and go off here. You can talk to this guy.
Would you stop repeat you make things up? I have it bad enough already.
So usually, if you hadn't found Patches yet, he would be there. Like, it's pretty well the first guaranteed spot you're going to meet him. It's not guaranteed, but the chances are very high. Bitch, mother... Dogs and crows, man. Dogs and crows. Alright. Yeah. Why not? And just a weird lone kidnapper here. Don't really know why. He's just out and about. I think he might be the only one in this entire woods. Beast Roar. This is the first thing you ever need Arcane for, so if you want to use it, now is a good time to start leveling up Arcane. Force of Beast Roar repels nearby foes and objects. One of the Forbidden Hunter tools made by the irreverent Izzy. Borrow the strength of the terrible undead Dark Beast, if only for a moment, to blast surrounding foes back with the force of a roaring beast. The indescribable sound is broadcast with the caster's own vocal cords, which begs the question, what terrible things lurk within the frames of men? And blue elixir, we have a second. Liquid that makes still bodies undetectable. Dubious liquid medicine used in strange experiments conducted by high ministers of the healing church. A type of anesthetic that numbs the brain. Hunters unable to retain consciousness by force of will make use of a secondary effect of this medicine which dilutes their presence while standing still. Not much to say. If you're standing still, you're undetectable. Well, mostly undetectable. Bitch ass. These guys are weak to fire. They really don't like it. And that is useful information for you. They're not that strong or hard to deal with either way, but they really, really don't like fire. Mm-hmm. Empty shanty. Not as empty shanty. More beast blood pellets. Son of a bitch. Got an item. Pungent blood cocktail. Wow, you got me on the fucking tail end of that shit. That's fine. Guys are dropping items left and right. I mean, hell, I just used one and got 3. There's another trap you can set off right there. It's really not useful. We need to go get that item we saw. Quicksilver bullets, not bad. Pretty much always useful, so. Alright, so you're meant to run out here, fall in this big pit, and yeah, whatever. It's a pretty easily avoidable trap. It'll only ever get you on your first run through, and even then, kind of easy to avoid. You really shouldn't be running into a giant swarm of enemies like that. Just not the game for it. Okay, and then you can go in here. And get this. And see a little hint of what's to come. Doesn't open from this side. Alright, due to the way that we cleared this level so far, that will be revealed very quickly. In fact, so quickly. Now that here it is. Now, if you wanted to through, bypass bypass this little town entirely, run in here, square, whatever you want to call it, and you'd be right here. It's not that good of a shortcut. I'll be honest. It's pretty much one of the crappiest shortcuts in the game. For a bit of note, this game has what's called counter hits. Okay. What a counter hit is if the enemy is about to hit you. Okay. If the enemy is about to hit you, you can hit them to interrupt their swing and do more damage than you normally would. So basically the same timing you would use for firing off your shot to get a visceral attack. If you were to just hit them, you would do more damage. Alright. Yeah, I didn't really play it up very much, but this dude's been firing a cannon at us, so fuck yeah. And if you want to, you can fire the piddliest shot ever. Kind of just right out. It's not very effective. I'll get this little guy right here. Alright. This area is kind of annoying because they force you to take a little bit of damage right there. And it's damage that's like, it's superficial. It's not enough to mean anything, but it's totally enough to just be annoying. So this is an entirely secret area. And the only thing that it really nets you... Well, I mean, we'll see what it gets you in a second. It gets you 2 important things. Firstly, you get poison knives. And you get a lot of them. You got 8. And fun fact, that's a hint. That's a hint at what you're supposed to be doing. So we're just going to go ahead and replace this with poison knives. Look, it gives you more poison knives. It gives you so many fucking hints. To this scene. So you have a man and a lady and a child and then this blood-covered man.
Blimey, don't scare me like that. On a night like this, I took you for a monster. Oh, thank the stars, you're fairly normal. Was it you who put down that awful beast? Ooh, that thing had me trembling, frozen in my boots.
Don't know about a beast you're talking about.
Well, if you're a hunter, then would you know of any safe havens?
Dude! Go the fuck to Yosefka's.
Thank you. It's about time I made a move. I can't very well stay out on my own.
No.
Well, you're giving me hope. Terribly kind of you. Take this. It's all I can offer as thanks.
Pungent blood cocktails.
Thank you. I can't very well...
Okay. So. Does anybody believe that this guy is just super innocent? Like, you have this giant frickin' level here with which to approach this one tiny guy?
Have you got a screw loose?
Oh, hello.
Or is it your animal intuition? You hunters have got more blood on your hands.
Didn't even damage him. And unfortunately, this is the fight. Like, you can fight him normally if you want, but there's no point. No point at all. Like, here's the fight. Like, I could do this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hunters are killers, nothing less. You call me a beast?
I do.
A beast? What would you know? I didn't ask for this.
So just every so often, you just pepper them in with a little more. It's fine. This is the fight. This is it. They give you so many poison knives that it's clear that this is how they intended you to fight him. And the only thing him powering up did was make his attacks go further. So now you have a harder time of actually poisoning him. But that's it. That's all the fight is. And as you see, there's no reason to ever go up there and fight him. It took me, what, 13 poison knives? And 18 bullets? Which I could have just not used the bullets at all.
Rancid beasts, every last one of us.
And it gives you beasts. Which, as you note, you already had beast. He just gives you a bigger beast. Temporary boost to transform plus 50. If you're running a specific type of build, this is useful. Same description. Just a better version of it. And that's it. So, it nets you that. So if you're running for all your runes, there you go. But the actual thing that'll net you is this. That's a cannon. Large prototype firearms fashioned by the workshop heretics, the Powder Kegs. We remember them. It's our old pal Jura. The use of this weapon is equivalent to toting a mounted cannon, complete with its ridiculous weight, staggering kick, and lavish use of quicksilver bullets into battle. Such a monstrosity was doomed from the start, and indeed its development was cut short. Yet, against impossibly gigantic foes, it might just be the thing. So, I can't equip. Like, I can equip it, but, like, I couldn't even use the damn thing. Okay, I can use it because I have the high strength. I'm not used to having 30 strength at this point. Talking out of my ass. So, what you'll note on it is blood attack is 200. Let's put that against anything else. The repeating pistol, which is my most damaging weapon other than that, is 90. This thing is at 200. So there are certain builds where you level this thing up as high as it goes, and you use a lot of items to buff yourself, and you can two-shot kill bosses. Now, what you may notice is that the Quicksilver bullet use, right there in the middle, is at 12, meaning that unless you have runes to bump yourself, you can't even wield, you can't even shoot the thing more than once. So, it takes a bit of dedication. Other than that, you're going to just walk around with it. Or just not use it at all. It is a very dedicated weapon. Alright. So we'll go this way. Try the lever. Nada. Whew. So we get a theme of snakes in this joint. But let's not worry about that for right now. We're going to come right back. Don't worry. Also, just a note, I haven't done anything spectacular, but I'm already up to 51,000 souls. Now, blood echoes. Sorry. Some people get pissy about that. Now, granted, we did kill a one-time enemy, so he added a bit there. But still, that's kind of your indication that you should be using this place to grind. Now, earlier when we met Alfred, a couple episodes ago, I said that a lot of people considered Alfred to be the Solaire of the game. And I don't disagree. Except in the fact that I totally fucking do, because, hey, guess what? Here's Volter. Volter is the Solaire of this game. Volter is a badass.
Ah, a new face, I hear. And an accomplished hunter.
And he's got the bucket helmet.
I am Volter, master of the League.
So, Volter?
Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that's spread about during the hunt.
All of it.
Like any half-decent hunter ought to.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen enough of these wretched beasts? Freakish slugs and mad doctors. Sentence these fiends to death with the help of your League confederates. What do you say? Why not join the League?
Hell yes. Every day join the League.
Yes. As a hunter well should. Commit this to heart. Our own Carol rune, symbol of the League.
I'm not gonna lie, this dude is such a badass that I personally don't have any tattoos, and I'm really not into them that much. I would consider getting this mark as a tattoo. Like this, the Impurity tattoo is Impurity mark is great. The League is fantastic. Volter is a fucking awesome son of a bitch.
The night brims with defiled scum and is permeated by their rotten stench. Just think, now you're all set to hunt and kill to your heart's content. Hunt in cooperation with your fellows, your League confederates.
Dude, he's so into it.
Now, by the oath of the League, those who bear its rune will see vermin. Vermin writhe deep within all filth and are the root of man's impurity. All vermin are to be crushed. The League exists to expunge all vermin, ridding us of any trace of human corruption. And so, until...
No! I fucked up. My bad.
No, by the oath of the all, the League exists, and so...
Oh shit.
Until we are all vermin...
Continue hunt and kill. Play Fate of Stars alone.
Expect the hand.
Okay, I'm going away. I accidentally lowered my controller and bumped L2, which L2 is that. Okay. Jesus. Fuck. Okay. We're gonna leave Volter alone for right now. Thankfully, this game has it set up to where you have to hit an enemy more than once to trigger them into it. Well, you have to hit a NPC more than once to make them become an enemy. So, Volter should be fine. I'm going to unequip this and change it out for the Pebble again. We're going to level up.
Welcome. What is it?
And we're going to hope Volter just forgets that ever happened.
Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me...
Okay. Shit. Start getting that blood tinge up. Or that arcane.
Hunter. May you...
So 51 leaves me with 200. So levels are getting a little pricey. That's fine. I'm afraid our meeting with Volter and my subsequent fuck up of hitting Volter kind of screwed up the revelation that we just got an awesome shortcut that whole everything you just saw me do in the woods never has to be touched again. Now you still want to go through there every so often and go grind out for levels or blood vials or what have you. That's going to be your new hunting ground. Definitely better than the area we're about to go for that. So yeah, we can bypass all of that. You fuck off. We can bypass all that area. Okay, he's back to his stance.
Do not forget to cooperate.
Well, I forgot to do it. Oh yeah, we should... I forgot to equip it, but we should go ahead and show it off. Impurity Rune, symbol of the League Oath. It boosts max HP during co-op plus 2%. A carol rune that transcribes the inhuman sounds. This rune, discovered inside the Forbidden Beast Eater, came to symbolize impurity and the Oath of the League. Confederates of the League cooperate with hunters from other worlds and hunt to discover vermin. Vermin writhe within filth and are the root of man's impurity. Crush all vermin without hesitation. So the reason the League is so awesome, A, because everything about what I just read is cool, but the thing that makes the League great is they're the only freaking group in this game that you can join that actually gets you anything. The Vile Bloods and the Executioners don't give you anything. No matter how high in the ranks you get, you never get anything for them. So frankly, their group is just worthless as far as gameplay goes. Lore-wise, yeah, it's fine. But gameplay-wise, shit's worthless. I'll pick that up later. Alright, head back. Oh, shit. Again, with the friggin' enemies that hit 20 times in a row. Yeah, like 2 to 3 times in a row. So, we now have enemies that are causing, in case you're wondering what that status bar is up top, that's poison. Enemies that cause poison are going to be the concern of this area. So, basic ticket is just an overhead swing. You're going to see a lot of overhead swings here. And they drop bloodstone shards, which are fine. Hell, I wish they actually sold for anything in this game. Selling in this game is actually worthless. It's not like just worthless on the notion that, like, oh, it's maybe a one-of-a-kind thing. Okay. Alright. Apparently didn't get him on that one. That was just me misreading the situation. I'm glad I unlocked the shortcut first. That's 100% on me. I was actually hoping to get through this area without dying, but that's fine. No, that's 100% on me. I misread the input there. Well, Mr. Toys is going now. And as always, you should send the elevator back up for yourself, just in case that happens. Like, he's going that way. You never have to deal with him. You can just let him go unless you just want to kill him for the Bloodstone shards or for the possibility of getting twin Bloodstone shards. So those are going to be your big item du jour right now. Oop. Alright, there he is with our blood echoes. Alright. And just for reasons. Got to... Oh. I just realized the guy that I killed up top there, the item that he dropped is gone. It's fine. It was more than likely just blood echo... Or, just blood vials. More twins. So once again, I said it before, if you are at an area where the game is just giving you twins, you should have whatever the highest level of that upgrade material is. So there, got more. If you're only getting regular Bloodstone shards, you should have a +3. If you're getting twins, you should have a +6. Well. Look, this guy. Let's see, I had 17 before I came here. I have 39 now. Like, that is ridiculous. Now up to one of my least favorite enemies in the game. Just really don't care for the fact that they don't give you a ton of blood echoes. They have just a vast, wide hurt box. They can spit at you. Which, trust me, of the deaths I get here, they will cause some of them. If not most. I've got one death so far. That's fair. Clear deep sea. Here's another rune. There's not a lot you're really going to want in the forest. There's another outfit you can get. But the runes are good. So you get the sea runes. Increases slow poison resistance plus 100. So what they are doing to you is slow poison. So putting this rune on in to go through here would be useful. A secret symbol left by Carol Runesmith Bergenworth, transcription of the Great Ones in human voices, depicts down-reaching currents. This rune means deep sea and grants augmented resistance. Great volumes of water serve as a bulwark guarding sleep and an augur of the Eldritch of Truth. Serves as a bulwark guarding sleep and an augur of the Eldritch of Truth. Overcome this hindrance and seek what is yours. That's it. Just gives you slow poison resistance. And puts some interesting... It tries for lore right there, but there is none. Shiny coins. Counter hit. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Shit. Yeah, if you don't get a good counter hit on them, you're going to be just going for a while. Alright, Bloodstone Chunk. Get rid of that. Bloodstone Chunk. Embed in weapon to fortify. Solid chunk that forms in cold blood. After death, a substance in the blood hardens, and that which does not crystallize is called a bloodstone. A chunk will never appear in the blood of an ordinary human. Seek deadlier foes if bloodstone chunks are needed. This is the item. This is the item that you use to get your weapon up to +9. And remember that you will need 15 of them. Murky Blood Gemstone. Alright, yay. You really want to get an item that they're guarding. Come on, boyo. Come join me. Come speak to me. Shit. I just need something fast. That's fine. Alright. Twin Bloodstone Shards. Dope. Murky Blood Gemstone. Dope. Twin Bloodstone Shards. Always good. Fuck these enemies, man. Well, fuck all that. Deep Sea. Not clear deep sea, just deep sea. Pretty much, yeah, same description, but a very clear difference in that this one prevents frenzy buildup. Frenzy, if you'll remember, is the status that the guys on top of the stairway of the Grand Cathedral had, and what is easily the most bullshit enemy in the entire game. Like, if somebody came across the enemy known as the Winter Lantern and then decided that this game wasn't for them, I wouldn't blame them. The Winter Lanterns are bullshit. They suck. They are not fun to fight. They never get any easier to fight, no matter what your level is. They just are not fun. Now, somebody out there, I'm sure, will disagree with me, and that's fine. You're welcome to your opinion on the matter. I mean, I'm by no means the expert of this game, so you're more than welcome to try and explain to me why Winter Lanterns are the best enemy in the whole fucking game. But literally, they are an enemy designed to completely remove your ability to progress. They look at you, you get frenzy, and chances are you die. That's it. That's their whole interaction with you. If you go to fight them, they can command grab you. That's it. That's what they have. Just not a joy to fight. They're not fun. Like, even these giant snakes, I don't like fighting them, but there's clear ways to make it better. Oh my god, no. Bug off. Alright. I'm trying to remember as I go through. There's... Fun. Okay. There's very clearly a kind of hidden off path that you're supposed to go down to get a unique armor set. It's easy to miss. No, it's not that. The cold blood, yeah. There's a lot of items in this area. It's a big area, but there's not a lot of like unique items. See, that's what I want. Ah, here we go. Graveyard, robe, and manchettes. But not everything. See, that's the hood of it, which I don't really care about, but it's like if I'm already getting things for this set, I may as well get the last of it. So, see if we can find it. Oh, so that's not... Oh, shit. We're here now. Woofa. Ah! Stop it. So, aliens. Just bubble-headed aliens. So, this game often gets described as Lovecraftian, and for a lot of people who kind of started playing the game but didn't make it this far, or completely missed this area and kept going but still didn't make it super far in the game, they may not know why it gets called that. It's aliens. There's aliens in this game. And it makes a lot more sense the more you go on, unless you're just not one of those kind of people that really follow story very well. In which case, you can get through the entire game and it might still not make that much sense. Okay, they don't like fire either. Anti-clockwise metamorphosis. One of the metamorphosis runes raises stamina. Twisted cross means metamorphosis. Rotated anti-clockwise, this rune boosts stamina. The discovery of blood made their dream of evolution a reality. Metamorphosis and the excesses and deviation that followed was only the beginning. So it made their dream of evolution a reality. So determining who they are is important. So I wound up missing the hood. Okay, then. Robe of Doris, Graveguard of the Forbidden Woods, countless bloodied rituals. Countless bloodied ritual tools hang from its back. Willem kept 2 loyal servants back at Bergenworth. When they were sent into the labyrinth, they encountered the Eldritch Truth and went mad. One became the password gatekeeper, who we already met, while Doris became a graveguard of the forest. Both remained loyal, even in madness. So yeah, we see these tools that the thing is talking about, along with this sack. Yeah, we'll rock with that. In case you're curious as to, like, the stat differentials on any of this stuff, like, you can see it's all mostly minimal. Till you get down to, like, your foreign garb is shitty. And the sweaty clothes are even shittier, except for with their fire resistance. But they're all in the 90s, 80s, and low hundreds. Like, there's nothing... Changing your armor is not going to save you from dying in one hit. Alright. Shoot. Counter hits. They're important. So, as you can tell, that just activated another shortcut and basically made all of the Forbidden Woods, except for where we've gone to so far, invaluable. Unless you're grinding. If I can find the fucking lever, here we go. The shortcuts in the Forbidden Woods are awesome. They're great. Well designed. And makes that original shortcut you unlock kind of pointless. The one just like kind of cuts around the little town, or through the little town there. Like, that's a little shortcut, but not a lot of value to it, you know? Not a lot of meat in those gym mats. Nope. So we have enough for a level up. So let's go grab one real quick. Not enough for 2. So we'll grab one. We'll grab some items. And then we will continue on.
Welcome. Very well, let me.
More arcane.
Farewell, good hunt.
So always go and repair your stuff, because it's super piddly to repair it. So you may as well go ahead. But you want to make sure that you have enough to repair it. You don't want to be like, oh, I only have $20 left and I can't repair my shit. So let's see. Not doing a ton of visceral attacks, so we'll just bump our stamina up 10%. Now that's done. Let's purchase some items. Oh yeah. Alright. And back in. So what I'm thinking of doing is we will finish out the woods. I haven't found any vermin yet from a boy. Yeah, no vermin. So we're going to finish out the woods. And then we will go unlock another secret area. And I think once that is done, we'll call it for the stream. I should check and see if any of the gemstones I've been getting are useful. Probably not. I mean, hell, I can check here. Once I send this back up. Let's see. No. That's not bad. 10.1. Skill scaling. If I had a skill weapon, that'd be fine. That's pretty good, but it's only blunt attack. That's not bad. Okay, I'm getting some decent ones. Nothing amazing yet, but a little 10% bump's a 10% bump. I don't know. I'm gonna knock it. All right. You always want to kill the pigs. Just always. Anytime you get the opportunity to do so, kill the pigs. They're useful. They're not hard. They give you a decent amount of blood echoes. And they usually always drop blood vials, which never stop being useful. Whole game, blood vials will be useful. Prime example. There's also a note to point out that, like, you don't get another type of healing item. So, when I say blood vials are always useful, they're always useful. Namely because you don't have another option. I will run through here off stream and go get that last item. Not really all that worried about it right now. It's, like I said, it's just a mask that I probably won't wear because it's not good and I think it looks ugly. Now these guys are not as weak to fire. Still very weak to fire, mind you. But not nearly as weak to fire. Mainly due to their not swimming around in oil like the other ones were. Hard, I need to do a little check here. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, and the other ones swimming around in oil makes them significantly more susceptible to fire. But yeah, you can tell just with that, I'm hitting them with one of the strongest weapons in the game, and this just does more damage. Lord, I always forget just how much fire damage does to these guys. Like I said, like that gem you can have the opportunity to get very early on is extremely useful. Like, to be honest, I should have been using it more throughout this area. Okay. So this is our first instance of the Old Hunter Bell. We can summon Henrik. Well, Old Hunter Bell in the real world, not counting the one we found in the Chalice dungeon. I fucking love enemies that will just hit you and hit you and hit you and hit you and stun lock you. They just stun lock you. That's what it is. Clockwise Metamorphosis raises HP. So yeah, capitalized Metamorphosis, uncapitalized Metamorphosis, and move A from one line to the other. It's the only difference here as far as stamina or HP. Okay, so we can summon Henrik, which we already know who Henrik was. Henrik was Gascoigne's father-in-law. Or we can summon the younger Moderus twin. I'm going to go with this guy. Ringing Old Hunter Bell. So, drawn by the bell's timbre, a bell-ringing woman has appeared somewhere. Younger Moderus twin. What up? So this person was added with the DLC. The woman rings a sinister bell. So she's trying to connect to someone to invade my world. So we're going to actually summon both. Ringing the Old Hunter Bell. Old Hunter Bell resonates with another. And we get the Old Hunter Henrik, who's a Confederate. Like us. It's happening, boys. Cool. I completely forgot to take this stupid cannon off my back for this fight. All right. Sorry about the lack of commentary there. I was trying to pay attention. And they will disperse. Those characters have no lore. Henrik, of course, has a lore. We've already talked about that. But the Moderus twin has a very little bit of lore, but we're not going to discuss that until much later after we start getting vermin, which I didn't get vermin from that. Normally start getting vermin from beating bosses. Strange. Anyway, we did get Blood Rapture. Visceral attacks restore HP. They already did that, kind of, but yeah, no, it's actually super useful to do that if you're using visceral attacks. A carol rune that transcribes inhuman sounds. Blood Rapture is the raw euphoria of the warmth of blood. Restores HP with visceral attacks, one of the darker hunter techniques. This rune resonates with the servants of the queen, carrier of the child of blood, who yearn for their queen's blood with little hope of requitement. For them, they find solace in Blood Rapture that serves as a surrogate for their desires. So that's a whole bunch of nonsense at this point in the game. That doesn't mean shit to anything at this point in the game. So, we're going to, like I said, we finished the forest. That's the end of the forest. There's an area further on. You saw a doorway there, but we're not going there yet. We'll start that on the next stream because I promise you it's going to take a sec. So, we will cash in.
What is... Very well.
And head to the Cathedral Ward. I'm going to go chat with some people. And go see who's hanging out here. We've already met Ariana. So we may have 2 more people hanging out here. Possibly. I don't know where the dude we talked to went to. Yeah, okay, he came. We already talked to you.
Oh, hello. Sorry, dear. I've only so much blood, okay?
Alright, so she will say that until you use her item. Pretty simple. Our old lady didn't come here. Did I send her to Yosefka's clinic or did I send her to here? I don't remember. I do not remember. If you would have brought Adela, she would have been here. And this fucker showed up.
Ah, you. The swindling off-comer. Did you really think that'd work? Now, off with you. You heard me. Go away. I can't stand the stench of your lying breath.
Alright then. Oop. Free Quicksilver bullets. Alright, he's by himself. That's fine. This dude's just doing a bad job. I had my back to him the whole time. Grab this chest, which I may have never gotten in my entire run through of this game. Blood-tinged gemstone 2. Oh wait, no, I need this. It's fine. Oh, wait, where am I going? Well, I got that, so that's fine. But I don't need to be in there. The area that we are going to is down here. We will waste all kinds of blood vials. Alright, so we want to follow those ropes all the way down there. I don't think I made it. I made it. Just freaking made it. And then we want to fall. Try not to overshoot. Right here. And this is a secret area that a lot of people got through the entire game and did not know about. I was told about it. I didn't find it on my own. Abandoned old workshop. So, this will look familiar. It's the building from the Hunter's Dream. There's usually gravestones right here. The doll sits right here. The fountain's right here. And we get the doll clothes. Let's take a look at those. A discarded doll's hat, likely a spare for dress-up. A deep love for the doll can be surmised with the fine craftsmanship of this article, and the care with which it was kept. It borderlines on mania and exudes a slight warmth. And then, yeah. So, we wanted to, we could... We could just play dress up as the doll. I'm not gonna lie, even when I'm playing as a guy character, I'll still use the doll's, what do you call it? Jacket? What is it? Doll clothes. As a coat. Just because I kind of like the way it looks. You get that cool shawl on it and everything. That looks fine. Until you turn around and you get the big pink ascot. But that's also fine. Like, honestly, like, this is the appearance I rock for most of the playthroughs I do for a while. Until I decide on what I want the character to actually look like. Like, this will usually do it. But we're going to go back to what we were rocking before. I think this will be the canon look of Lady Mothman for a while. Old Hunter Bone. The art of quickening speeds up rolling and quick steps. The bone of an old hunter whose name is lost. It is said that he was an apprentice to old Gehrman and a practitioner of the art of quickening, a technique particular to the first hunters. It is most appropriate that hunters, carriers of the torch, who are sustained by the dream, would tease an old art from his remains. Okay. So, that tells you that Gehrman kind of used to be a little bit of a badass. No path to go through over here. So Gehrman used to be a little bit of a badass. That's fine. But that's actually this was in the original run of the game, so you can't say, oh, this was a clue of something. No. When the DLC came out, there's a big issue with Dark Souls DLCs of, well, where do you find them? So in Dark Souls 1, it was a mystery. People would go searching for days and not be able to find where the DLC was. And you would get little hints left in the world. So, what when the DLC came out for this, it was called The Old Hunters. So, you started looking for anything in the item descriptions that said Old Hunters. And then a lot of people remembered The Hunter's Bone. That's like old Germany, that's old hunters, yada yada. So, when you eventually find the DLC, and I'll go show off where that is. Then the big question came of how do you get back to it? Because you're allowed to come back to the Hunter's Dream whenever you want to, but how do you get back to it? So people would go over here to where the gravestones were, and none of them would take them there. But then people would remember that every so often the doll won't be here. She will be up here to another gravestone. The same gravestone in the Hunter's Dream where you find the old Hunter's Bone. And this is the gravestone that takes you to the DLC. Well, takes you back into the DLC. So we come up here. And this is normally where the chest is that holds all of our inventory. A small hair ornament. Small plain hair ornament. Small, very ordinary hair ornament. Although it has been lost for quite some time, one can still see signs of the care with which this tasteful ornament was once kept. Its color would stand out most brilliantly against a head of grayish hair. There's only one character we've met so far with a head of grayish hair, so... This is normally where the workshop is, and here's your lantern. Let's go ahead and light it. And this. 1/3 of umbilical cord. This is a completely optional area. I just want to point that out. A great relic, also known as the Cord of the Eye. A great relic, also known as the Cord of the Eye. Every infant Great One has this precursor to the umbilical cord. Every Great One loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate. The third umbilical cord precipitated the encounter with the pale moon, which beckoned the hunters and conceived the hunter's dream. Used to gain insight, and, so they say, eyes on the inside, although no one remembers what that truly entails. There's going to be a lot of people that just come here and for some reason just decide to die. There's nothing to fight you. Let's inspect. It's an abandoned doll. It is, in fact, the doll. So... do we still have it? Nope. Where is... there we are. The doll. And if you look at her hand... take a look right there at her index finger. Don't look at me on this. It moves. No real clue as to why. It just still moves. So it was a doll that was made and maybe never worked. Maybe did for a very short time. But it was abandoned. So let's go back to the Hunter's Dream. Ooh.
Welcome. What is it? What? What is this? I can't remember. Not a thing, only I feel. A yearning, something I never felt before. What's happening to me? Tell me, Hunter. Could this be joy?
It could. And she cried. A tear stone. A silver shining tear stone used to gain droplet blood gem. It'll fortify any weapon. A doll sheds neither blood nor tears, and thus its nature remains unknown. Whoever thinks this is precious must be troubled by severe naivete. It straight up tells you, this thing is useless. Just crush it. Bang. Tear blood gem. Blood gem to fortifies weapons and adds various properties. Yada yada. Created from the shining silver doll tear. This blood gem is a quiet but unfaltering friend that continually restores HP, the life essence of a hunter. Perhaps the doll's creator had wished for just such a friend, albeit in vain. So, a little spoiler, Gehrman created the doll. It's never explicitly talked about, but Gehrman did it. He did the thing. So, blood gem fortification. There's a question as to what to put that droplet gem in, and the answer is your gun. Put it in your gun. It goes in your gun. Because right now, it is healing me. Just with it being on my back. I don't have to be using it. It doesn't have to be active. Just with it being on my back, it is healing me. So you want to keep that thing on the gun. Keep it on a thing that's always going to be on your person, but you're not using. So you're not using up a slot that could be added to like damage or something like that. So we need to check these numbers out. 154 is probably the highest we're going to get. So let's slot that in. Okay. Nothing better yet. What about the one we just gave up? Same thing, but more physical up at 2%. So we'll just do that. Alright. Do we have anything that bumps these stats? Nope. Okay. So, before we clear everything, before we cut it off, we're going to head back to the Cathedral Ward. Before we sign off and go unlock another lantern, another travel point. Oh, these loading screens. Not nearly as bad as the Fallout loading screens, but they're markedly better than they used to be. I'm not going to give them that much shit. Profundity. Alright. Hello.
Curse the fiends, their children too. And their children forever true.
It's a bit of spoilers. So, the first time I learned about where this DLC was and when they expect you to be able to go to it, I was mad. So note, I have had access to this since I beat Vicar Amelia, when I had a +3 weapon, when I was easily 30 levels lower. We're in the Cathedral Ward, mind you. Same place we were. We can't go back down the Tomb of Odin. But, we'll pull back the curtain here. The thing that was on that building, it's always been there. But we can't see it, because we're not crazy enough. See, we only have 22 insight. In order to see those, you have to have at least 40, or you have to push the world to the next state of being. So, because of the fact that we didn't push the world forward to the next state of being, and we don't have 40 insight, we kind of got spoiled a little bit there. Let's light this lamp. So, here's the door that usually leads you to the old workshop. It's locked. There's no door over here, and our friends aren't here. And already something's a bit different. Especially when you look up here. Yeah, something's different. So note, if you do that before you have the option, like before you have the item that brings you to the DLC, you'll just die. That thing, which is called an amygdala, I'll just go ahead and say it, amygdala, it will pick you up and kill you. And also, it just killed 2 enemies and I got 500 experience for it. You don't really get a whole hell of a lot. And this goes into a big problem of Dark Souls DLC, where enemies are very hard and they do not give you enough to justify it. Oh my god. This enemy is now at an area where literally I can't risk hitting him without getting damage. He gave you less than 1,000. Just as a note for that, the kidnappers were giving you more than 1,000 and had significantly less health. Now granted, they did more damage to you, but still significantly less health. Actually, at this point in the game, I don't know if they did less damage to you. I have way more health than I used to have. Also, good to note that this is your little, like, window shopping for what you have in this area. Like, what you'll be able to get. Because you can get all of his clothes. You can get that weapon he's swinging around. So, much like a Bastardly. Another 900. Not fucking worth it. Here, I just wanted to show off the area. We're not going to come back here until the end of the frickin' game. I have to look at this playback. A little bit of interference in my Wi-Fi, so hopefully that's not causing a problem. So, got my ass handed to me, wasted 5 blood vials, and only got 12,000 blood echoes. Not worth it. Not right now. So, we're going to call it for a stream. We'll start back off and begin our adventure in Bergenworth. As I said before, I'll say it again. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, thanks for watching. Hit me up with a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date on updates. All that shit. I really do appreciate it, and thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.